is a recap of Goal Setting and Achieving Part 2, Habits and the Subconscious Mind, which was originally presented on Thursday, January the 21st. So three weeks ago from today, and today's date is the 11th of February, 2021. So habits and the subconscious mind, and how we can work with our habits to create and achieve the goals that we want to achieve. So 90% of what we do every day is unconscious. And this includes thoughts, feelings, and our actions. And it takes a lot of conscious effort to change the subconscious, those things that we're habitually doing. It's like we've got to take the 10% of our consciousness and just kind of just rewrite the whole of the rest of those subconscious programs that we've got running on a daily basis, weekly, yearly. So why would we want to create new habits? Well, of course, when we have a goal in mind, we want to create new habits that are going to line us up for success in achieving that goal. Here's a nice little quote from Jim Rohn. Motivation is what gets you started, and habit is what keeps you going. And that's the thing as well. It's like starting is the hardest part. Starting any new venture, any new goal, any new thing that we want to achieve, it's usually those first steps that we have to take that are the most difficult. And so the whole point of this presentation today is to get us familiar with ways we can create new habits that are going to be able to set us up to get the best start and to make it as easy as possible for us to have the path of least resistance carved out for us. So, of course, yeah, we do need to form these new habits, as I said, to achieve the goal. And that often involves emptying our cup, our life cup, because in our life at any one point, we've got a glass of water, let's just say. And we've got all these different things that we put in our cup. We've got our job, we've got our walking dog, we've got feeding ourselves, we've got family, we've got children, we've got all this stuff that we need to take care of on a daily basis. And so there's certain things, say if we want to achieve a new goal, there's certain things that we're going to have to pour out of that cup in order for us to be able to put new things into that cup, new habits into that cup that are going to help us achieve that goal. And that's the thing. It's like you try and focus on, as I said, all those different things in life and you get overwhelmed. You can't focus on too many things at once without getting burnt out, overwhelmed, overstressed, overworked. So we need to work savvy and create new systems in our lives to support our new goals. And it's all about substitution. It's not necessarily, I don't personally like the word compromise. I feel like there's always a substitution that can be made for just about everything. So you're still getting that thing that you want, but it's just perhaps coming to you in a slightly different way. So goal achieving and habits. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. Aristotle. To achieve a goal that is beyond our current standards, we must change ourselves to become the person who would have such things. And that's such a resounding statement for the whole of this goal setting and achieving series. It's all about becoming the version of ourselves that we want to become. And that's all we're just pretending. We're not even pretending, we are just being that version of ourselves. And it's just such a repeated theme throughout all these multi-part series of this season. We can influence our subconscious mind through repeatedly impressing an idea upon it. Again, rebuilding that habitual process that we have. This could be a goal, a habit, or a philosophy. Whether that's a belief system, whether that's a habit, it's all about reinforcement. We reinforce with the habits or the belief systems that we prefer to have in our lives to whatever end that we want to desire to achieve. So, in regards to goals and the subconscious mind, by often reviewing our goals and redefining them, we familiarize ourselves with them. By clarifying our goals in present tense, we influence our subconscious mind to think it has already been achieved. As I said on the previous slide, where we're almost faking it till we make it. That's pretty much what it is, but we're not even faking it. We're just being it. We are just it. We are just living as if we have achieved that goal already. And that comes into the habits as well, because by doing those habits towards achieving that goal, it makes it so much easier for us to know without a shadow of a doubt that we've already achieved that goal, which is just going to get us closer to achieving that goal. And so with habits, by doing the same things every day or very regularly, we build neural networks in our brain and body, the subconscious mind, and even muscle memory as well. And it stores the data just like in the hard drive of a computer. This data will continue to express itself through our actions and thoughts. Like a computer program, once it's set up, it will continue in the same way, but unless it's reprogrammed. So all we're doing is we're recoding our minds and essentially our muscle memory as well, in a way, in some cases. And so the philosophy behind this, for example, if we want to start exercising regularly, we should daily consume information around the benefits of exercise and the negative consequences of not doing so. So again, reinforcing with positive reinforcement about the benefits of doing that. And by reinforcing in a positive way, even when we're feeling really low and discouraged, if we can just muster some of that positive energy within ourselves, some of that love energy even, that's going to put us into a greater state of alignment of going and doing the exercise, that can really help to get us into that exercising routine, to make us feel more inspired to want to do it, to be constantly reminding ourselves of our why. And the whole thing of building a strong why has been covered in parts 1 and 2 here today as well. So, and yeah, okay. The process of forming new habits. So I'm sure who here has heard of the idea that it takes 30 days for us to form a new habit where it becomes automatic for us. I would say yes. I know that many people have. So there is this particular process of forming new habits I would like to, it's very simple, of course, and there was a point I wanted to make here that, okay. Okay. So of course, as many of you have probably already read this by now, what habits are held by the version of you that's already achieved your goal? So again, tapping into that version of you that's already achieved this goal that you want to achieve. What are they doing on a daily basis that's helping them to live in that vibration, helping them to live in that reality where they've achieved what you want to achieve? And just take a note. Describe any particular features about that, of what they're doing on a daily basis. What's their environment? How are they feeling? And just getting really in tune and actually building a relationship and a rapport with that version of yourself. And this was the point I was trying to remember, actually. And this just goes back to as well with the philosophy behind starting exercising regularly. So one thing that I've found is very crucial when forming habits is so many of us, especially in Western societies and the world at large, we've been conditioned for centuries now, and thousands of years essentially. We've been conditioned to be really hard on ourselves as a collective. Collectively, we've been almost trained, hardwired from societal conditioning, from our parents, from their parents, and so on and so forth. This whole system of, right, you've got to do it that way, you've got to do it really well, otherwise you're a failure. And we've just been bred to almost be really, really hard on ourselves and harsh on ourselves. And so, for example, when it comes to starting exercising regularly, someone might set a habit that is, I'm going to go jogging every single day. And that is it's a really fantastic habit in my perspective personally. But going from zero to hero, like going from zero to jogging every day, some people will really struggle with that. And also when they have, some people will also find, of course, everyone will have a different experience. Some people may get to like the 12th day and then and then for whatever reason they can't jog that day, and then they might feel really discouraged. Their why might not be strong enough, but also just by them missing a day, they can very easily feel like, oh, let down, and then they decide to not to stop jogging. So what we need to do in this process of forming these new habits, and one really important thing as well, is making it easy for ourselves. And this is something I really want to highlight, is instead of just setting that benchmark at like, I'm going to go for a jog every day, set the benchmark lower. Say at minimum, I'm going to do a 15-minute, a half hour, an hour walk every day. And ideally, I'd like to go jogging every day. But if I can just at minimum do that small walk every day, that will be enough for that day. And then the next day I can go jogging. And this kind of way of taking it easy on yourself when you're trying to form a new daily habit and you're working towards a new goal, it can just, for so many people, work well in them being able to feel like it's okay, I'm taking it day by day, I'm doing a little bit each day. And that's just such a much nicer feeling. So that's something I'd highly suggest there as well, highly recommend. And that's it. Yeah, start small and simple. This was the point. Start small and simple, and you're then able to build upon it. But once you've figured out these new things that you want to start doing straight away, perhaps on a daily, weekly basis, whatever your habit is for you in particular, you can then start to realize, right, perhaps for me to slot this habit into my lifestyle, I need to substitute an old habit for this new one, whatever that could be. In some cases, you might not even have to substitute, but that's the thing. Again, instead of looking at compromise, look at substitute. That's what I would recommend in that regard. So emptying our cup and realizing what we no longer need, and then we're able to really go at it for the next 30 days and just get this habit dialed in, get this habit repeated and embedded in the subconscious mind, even muscle memory if that's the case. The belief systems that can come from that habit, the reinforcement on so many levels, emotional as well as mental. And only really then, once we've dialed in the habit and we feel, right, we've got this nailed down, we know day by day that we can do this, we're doing it consistently, we've been doing it for the past month, we have no problem doing this habit now. Now we can consider adding to it. Now we can consider emptying other bits out of our cup and adding more bits to our cup. But that's always going to be down to discretion as an individual. So that really, in a nutshell, is the basic process of forming habits, and how habits in general we can utilize to really help us achieve our goal with less resistance, because we've systematized our life in a way that takes the pressure off, you know. One other method as well, one other way of looking at forming new habits, a very good habit to form actually, is one where we can take, for example, an A4 sheet of paper, whether it's blank, lined, whatever it is, just a piece of paper, any kind of paper, a pen or a pencil, and just write down. You can even put yourself in the middle, as like put your name in the middle with a circle in the middle, and have all of the outer circles pointing to this one. But just drawing bubbles, so putting, for example, meditation, I want to meditate more, so you put a big circle around that to suggest, right, this week I want to focus more on meditation. You might have another circle that says relationship, my romantic relationship with my partner. Like this week we need to focus more on doing something together or spending more quality time together. So you make that a bigger circle. And so once a week, just going through these things and just writing a new and just creating a new bubble map, and just getting a weekly sense of where you're at and what things you want to focus on. And this can also be a really good way to form new habits and just to keep on top of your habits as well, almost like a habit tracker. Because you can look back on old weeks and be like, wow, that was a really big deal at that point in my life, and look how far I've come now. And that again can be a really positively reinforcing thing, which is good in itself. So that's another suggestion I have there for life bubbles. That's something I've been doing as well. It's good because you just feel like you know what's going on more in your life. You just have to be in constant meditation to feel tapped into what you're doing. And so that really was excellent. So that was quite quick. We got through that in about 12, 13 minutes. This particular video is
That's the meditation we did last time.
That is the meditation, but I think for the purposes of this recap, we're probably not going to do this video, are we, Chris?
No. But if you'd like to join us for the meditation or the different exercises during the normal presentations, then please attend one of our main meetings, which happen fortnightly. This is just a recap. And for those of you that's watched this on YouTube, thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll see you at a meeting soon.